about. So here we are. We are in the middle of 320 Lab, Wednesday, February 3rd. I'm on VMware. I've set up Adobe. I've set up my work file. I've got Google open. And now the question is, how do I draw that thing? Oop. Cancel. I need to have my snip on. Snip. So here's the thing. First of all, I've got a snipping tool down here, and I need a snipping tool in here. It's not always the easiest thing to figure out which toolbar you're working with. But here I've got this cool snip, and I think I can just put that on later. So now, if you're in your Google Drive and you do not have Jamboard available, you need to scroll down a little farther to this marketplace. Type in Jamboard and install it on your login. Then you will have Jamboard available. Okay, it's already on mine, but you go down to the marketplace, find Jamboard, and install it. And then you'll be able to go to Jamboard. Here we go. I'm on Jamboard. And I'm going to make a new one. And I think I have to save this somewhere. This is primitive. So I will say, Janice, if you've gotten this far, you could stop if you want to. Because this is really showing that you've got the skills down. Because I only needed a few. Okay, so now I'm going to insert my image from here. And let's just talk about it for a bit and what it means. So when I'm looking at it here, what I'm seeing is this over here. And when I'm looking at it, say, here, I'm seeing this right here. So I have to figure out what primitives I can make this out of. So what I see, the easiest thing to do is make a shape that looks like this. It looks like this Z, and press pull it all that way. Then I can cut off the corner, cut out this little area up here, and then add on. There's a little triangle back here and a little triangle in the front. Okay, so you haven't done anything yet. Okay. Well, this is a cool one to start with. All right, so I'm going to use this shape. And what I see is this is a rectangle and a rectangle and a rectangle. Let me see if I can find the dimensions of those rectangles. It's not super easy, but this top rectangle right here is 2.
Mr. Schuster.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure, like, how is it that I'm going to make this, to turn this into one of those 3D things that you did using the press pull? Do I just simply just do like a sketch? I just draw lines, and those lines, it would generally
I'm demonstrating that right now.
assume that those lines would be essentially elevated.
I'm demonstrating that right now. So I'm going to demonstrate to you exactly how to do that. Okay. So this is 1.6 by 2. this is 0.4 by 2, and it's 1.85 tall. And this is, 3.75 minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to write some stuff down here. Okay. This distance right here is 1.6. This is 2. This is 0.4. And that is 2 minus 3.1.75. And these are all 0.4 thick. Okay, so I can draw 3 rectangles and get that. I'm set. I'm starting off. Dang it, I always do that. Is that what you always do, Janice? You always get the wrong one pushed over? Okay, so here we go. Here comes SketchUp. So now I'm going to demonstrate, Jake. I am ready to demonstrate. So I'm going to go into Simple. There it is. And I'm going to have this sort of side by side so I can see my dimensions over here. Okay, so the first one I'm going to start with is this back one. 1.75 by 2. And they're just inches. I'm going to get rid of Google Girl. Yep. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to say, you're not seeing my dimension line. Now you can see it. There's my rectangle, and I'm going to type 1.75 comma 2. And it went the wrong way. Oh, no, it went the right way. That's good. And I see it's 0.4 thick. And then right next to that, there's one that's 0.4, and it's 1.85, 0.4. 0.4, comma 2. Oh, went the wrong way. Two comma 0.4. Decide to switch, and that one is 1.85 tall. Come on. Oh. Now the next one I got to think about a little bit. I want it to come off the top. Let me kind of move it around here and see if I can draw one. That's 2 comma 1.6. And that one's going to press pull the other way. 0.4. See how I just made the Z shape? Now I got a little bit of fixing up to do. I'm going to get rid of some of these extra little lines that might be hanging around. Rid of extra little lines just to make life better for me. There. I have the Z shape. Now you know me. Oh, I need to do my toolbars and stuff too. I don't really need to. I'll go to here's my ISO view. Okay, so now I need to cut this top thing out. And if I look at this again, this top thing is 0.8 by 0.4. So what do? I come in 0.6 And then I go 0.8 by 0.4 to get rid of that. I come in 0.6, go up 0.8 over 0.4. Okay, got it. So I go 0.6 in that direction. Find that, there it is. And then that's going to be 0.6 by 0. And I can get rid of that. Press pull. Huh. There, I just made this little hole right here. Hole right here. Now my next one's a little bit, I gotta figure this out. If this is 0.6 and this is 0.4, this is 0.2, 0.8, 0.8, and over. So I'm over here, I'm gonna come down 0.2, then go 0.8. And see, I'm snapping in the green, 0.8. Maybe it's more than that.
Yeah, Mr. Schuster, I think you've got something wrong here.
Oh, and then I have to do the same thing from the other side. There we go. And so on this one, then I go 0.2, 0.8, connect up. Go. And now I can get rid of that. Yeah, that's working. So I'm just cutting here's the goal. I cut this thing into rectangles that I can make. And I read these dimensions to find them. Okay, so now I get the hard part. Oh, and then these are 0.4 by 0.4. Let me get those ones on there. I'll use my tool. I'll come this way along that edge, 0.4. And then I'll come this way, 0.4. Cut it off. I think I went more than 0.4 on one of them. This is where I get goofy. I got to get back into my standard views, top view. Let me get this right. There we go. And now I can press pull that away. Getting these controls can be a little bit tough. Okay, now I'll go 0.4. Go, got it. And come over this way, 0.4. And press pull that away. Now here's the thing that's going to be a little bit goofy. It's going to be a little bit hard to figure out. I have to draw at a 45-degree angle. So there's the new part. This, so far, oh, here's the other thing. I could go from this midpoint. Let me get the last little part here. This is 0.4 thick. So it's 0.2 in each direction. I'm going to come this way, 0.2. I'm going to go up. Then I'm going to go out, down. And now I can make that go 0.5. And I didn't pick my midpoint right, but you can see I didn't have my midpoint quite right. I'm a little bit off, but you see how to do that? Now I got the hard one, the 45-degree angle somehow. That one needs the protractor. Or I can just draw a line in the red direction and I can rotate it. Why isn't that letting me type 45? All right, well, now I don't know why that's not letting me move that at a 45-degree angle. So what I'll have to do is this goes out, so I'll have to do a little bit of math on this one because I'm not getting that command quite right. So it's the midpoint going to go out how far? 1.85 minus 0.4 is 1.5. And then it's going to go straight down. And then this is going to go until it hits that point right there. So that now I got to be thinking a little bit, which I don't like to do. There we go. And this should press pull 0.2. And this should press pull. Go. And there's my part. So, yes. Pointing to the first point and then typing in the length. Yes. So if I want to go from here over this way, I click on the first point, draw the pencil, and then you can see down here on the length. And I don't even have to go down there. I'll just type 1. And that goes 1 inch. So that's how I get those. Okay. And I got that one not quite centered. I don't know what I did to miss the center on that one, but that's okay. It's there. And now you can do your styles, your materials, your components, and stuff like that. I'm going to say File, Save As. Primitive -7. So let me explain, though, just really quickly to you. I'll fix it. Oh. Okay, when we look over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these to do. If I do primitive number 2, I had to have done primitive 1. So take a copy of primitive 1 and show it, and show primitive 2. So that you're supposed to do 3 or 4. It said at least 4. So if you do this one and this one, that's 2. And this one and this one, that's 3, 4. But really, these 2 are sort of one design. And these 2 are sort of one design. Where do you get the length to come up? On the bottom. Okay, so let me say, like this one right here, this length. Let's look at some of these. Like right here is one of the lengths. That's the thickness of the base. This is the thickness right here. That one. So here's the thickness of the base. Here's my chopping the corner. Here's the thickness of the top part of the Z, and here's the thickness of the other part of the Z. So that's where I got those. And then here I just kind of played around. So to get this cut out here, I went up 0.6, and then I went over 0.4, up 0.8, back over 0.4. 0.4, 0.8. And then for the next part, I had to do some arithmetic. This is 0.6. This is also 0.6. Add those all together, you get 0.2. This is 0.4. That means this little line here is 0.2. 0.6 minus 0.4 is 0.2. So I had to do some figuring on this. 0.2 down, 0.8 over, 0.2 up, 0.8 over, and connect. Okay. So, did that answer a bunch of questions on that one? Okay, how do you get the length to show up on SketchUp? No, it's not very easy. So let me show you. So Janice asks, how do you get the length to show up? Here's a measurement tool. So you can click, and it's supposed to tell me the length. Click. Oh, 1 3/4 inch. It's telling me down in this corner, but as soon as I get off it, it goes away. Click, and it's showing me 1 3/4. About 3/8. 3 3/16. So it's not super precise. The other way you could do it is if you have your large tool set handy. Remember I said you could use that large tool set? There's a dimension tool. And it's not as handy as AutoCAD. But it's not, I mean, it's not bad, right? It works. And then you would have to get rid of those, or if you want to leave them there, you can actually click. Here, I'm going to click a bunch of them. Right click, and you can hide them. Hide. And then I don't remember how to unhide things. So I know I can unhide them. Let's see, view the hidden objects. There we go. Now you can probably right click and unhide. So I just figured out how to do something. Okay, so these are good questions. Any other good questions that I can answer for you? Any crummy questions I can answer for you, man? I'll answer all questions. I don't think there are too many crummy questions. Usually questions mean somebody needs to know something. And since we're a college, we're supposed to be into getting you to know things. What do you got, Jake?
Mr. Schuster?
Yeah.
I was wondering, how do I get because you're not willing to let me put SketchUp on my computer?
What do you mean I'm not? What do you mean I'm not willing to let you do that? You're wrong. You may perfectly well do that.
Yeah, I want us to set up SketchUp on my computer.
Well, I'm not going to do it for you. You can go to SketchUp and purchase it for $50 and have a version of it. You're welcome to do that.
Okay.
You're absolutely welcome to do that. Just type in, I showed that in one of my videos. Go to SketchUp, costs you $50. You're welcome to do that, but you need SketchUp Pro.
How do you get it from VMware?
But in the meantime, how am I supposed to get stuff from my SketchUp on VMware to my Google Drive?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Let me show you. I'm going to do it right now. Okay? So here I go. I'm on VMware. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I can put it on my desktop, but I have this folder on my desktop that I put things in. There it is. Save. And now I can close this down. And it's in there, right? I know where it is. There it is. This SKB is a backup, and it's not useful to you right now. Okay, so now let's figure out how to do that. I'm going to go find something called Today's Work in my drive. I have a ton of stuff in my drive, by the way. Today's Work. There, I've just got everything on my Google Drive. Now, for your portfolio, you might want a few other things. You might want to take a snip of that for your portfolio. P7-1. Maybe that's what you want to do. Or maybe you want to put some colors on it. I don't know.
What exactly is this?
It's a shape to draw that lets me know that you have certain skills.
I thought it was a real mechanical part.
Might be, but I don't use it that way. Okay, so now I can export this. Same thing. Okay, so now I've got things that I can put in my portfolio. I can put those two new things right in there. There. So you use your Google Drive to save things. Okay? That's where you're going to save stuff. And you can put them in any, I don't care. You have your own good file system, Jake, which I've seen. You work very, very well.
Sure. It's the savior of the world.
Yep, it is. So you don't have to follow my plan, but you just put it in your Google Drive. Save it on your VMware, put it on your Google Drive. Cool? Okay. Any other, so these are great questions everybody's asking. Janice, do you have any other questions about, can I demonstrate the first one, the primitive number 1? Yeah. Let me do primitive number 1. I need to go find them again. Thank goodness for the Google Drive. Primitive shapes. Primitive number 1. Okay. So now this one, do you want me to do it on Jamboard again, or do you want me to just do it, Janice? Okay, here we go. Just do it. I think that was a commercial at one point. Just do it. Okay, I can see it well enough now. All right, so I can open a new one. And I'm going to get rid of Google Girl. Okay, so I'm going to start by making this rectangle right here. Because remember, we're making rectangles and triangles. So this rectangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares by 2 squares. And I'm going to make each square an inch. And I'm going to type 6, comma 2. There we go. And I see that it is 1, 2, 3 high. So I can press pull that. The press pull is being really finicky. No? 3. Now I've got a triangle that comes out 1, 2, 3 in one direction and 2 in the other. Comes out. Now I have it going green. If I get off of the line, green means it's parallel to this green line, which is what I used to draw this with. If I go 3 that way, I go 2 upward. See, I'm going upward, 2. And then I got to find the end point. There's the end point. Connect the ends. And press pull it till I get to the other end. Click. Now at this point, you're done, but you could get rid of extra lines if you feel like it. Not necessary. You could if you feel like it. Okay. Oh, it was Nike. Yes. Janice is right. It was Nike. Just do it. So there we go. I think that was I don't even remember what sport they were pushing with that. Maybe it was all sports, right? Just do it. Okay. So there's number 1 again. Any other good questions? I better save this one. Save as. Primitive 1. And now I can go back to my to do and put it in there. Day. And I can either add everything back in there or just put the new stuff that I've done. Up to you. Okay. Leah, do you have a question? Okay, Jake, I'll open it up. Do you have any more good questions or comments or things that you
Oh
see?
yeah. Do you have did you make sure to put the dimension, have the thing with the correct dimensions on it?
Your thing with the correct dimensions on it.
Yeah, for each of these shapes, you have it on there.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because in order to draw this thing, I need dimensions to know how big you want me with the triangle.
Okay.
I want to know
So
want to make sure I know
so
how
I made
tall it's gonna be.
Okay, so I made a video of it, but that's for you. That's part of this lesson is you figuring it out. So this is how many squares in this direction? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So this is 2, 1, 2, 3. What you don't know is how big is a square. And I don't care. So long as every time you draw one square, it's an inch or a centimeter or a foot or a mile. Okay, you're making a scale visualization. So you just have to count squares. I made them so that each square was an inch because that's easy for me. But you might think a foot is easy. And I know that our students that are from the Middle East and Europe and other parts of the world think a meter is easy. I don't care what you think one square is, so long as your proportions are all correct. Does that help out?
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you going to do? What do you think you want to do, Jake? What do you think you want to do?
What do you
Do
mean?
you want to make each square 1 inch, or do you want to make each square 1 foot?
I'm gonna make it 1 foot.
You
Each square is gonna be
okay?
1 foot.
Perfect. Then you will have an exactly correct submittal.
Okay.
Cool. Does
Thanks.
that should help out, right?
Yeah.
And since you're gonna make it 1 foot, you might even leave the Google girl in there, because you're drawing big anyway. I got rid of the Google girl because she was too big. You don't have to get rid of the Google girl.
Okay.
You know why I call her a Google girl?
But this isn't even Google.
It
This is-
was Google invented this program and they sold it to Trimble. And so all these pictures of the people that you see were actual Google employees or relatives of Google employees. So
that's funny.
yeah, so I call her Google girl. The one that they started with, her name was Susan. And it was actually
Oh yeah, I remember when I was in 5th grade when Monsters vs. Aliens came out, and they had that giant lady, and her name was Susan.
Yep. And so that was one of the programmer's wives. Google Susan was a programmer's wife. So anyway, there you go. That's some of your history of SketchUp.
Nice.
So it's just called SketchUp now. It used to be Google SketchUp.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I call her the Google girl.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. Rokai, welcome on. Do you have any questions, Rokai? If not, you guys can just drop off. I think we've done everything that we need to do. But if Rokai, if you have a question, let me know.
Thank you, Professor. Right now, no. Just I need to practice.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to shut down and get ready for some meetings. Meetings. I think many of you are on my appointment schedule. Let's see what it looks like for after class today. Not too many. Danny and Michael are on. And I've got a bunch of meetings in here. So I'm going to, there we go. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow in class. And tomorrow, I think I'll focus on the Arc de Triomphe and some of the optional extra work. Okay? Cool. And I'll see you guys later.